Very uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people. I love the fans, so we'll see what comes.
Whoa, this just got real. Lexie Hull just dropped a bombshell that's got Indiana Fever fans absolutely stunned. She's leaving the team. Yep, the same Lexie who's been side by side with Caitlin Clark, grinding through every high and low of that roller coaster rookie season. And now, she's gone. Fans are freaking out, wondering what went down behind the scenes. Was it tension? A tough decision? Or something we don't know yet? Either way, this move raises big questions, not just for Lexie, but for Caitlin and the whole Fever lineup. How does this shake up team chemistry? What's next for the squad? So here's the real question. Did Lexie make the right call walking away, or will this one come back to haunt her? Because let's be honest, this one hurt.
Tasha tweeted and was just saying a bunch about pride and how proud she was of this team. Have you kind of had similar emotions the last couple days, and how do you balance that with a very painful ending to the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think like following the game, it's so disappointing to lose, and most seasons end on a loss, so it's really hard and challenging. But I think when you sit back and think about our year and everything that we were able to accomplish with the circumstances that we were faced with.
Let's be clear. Lexie Hull wasn't just another name sitting on the Fever's roster. She was one of the few players who brought real fire when the season went off the rails. You know the type, diving for loose balls, hustling on every possession, doing all those gritty, thankless jobs that never make it into the highlight reels, but keep a team alive. But here's the twist. Her contract was already in shaky territory. As a restricted free agent, Indiana technically had the power to keep her by matching any outside offers. Yet the way Lexie's been talking lately, it doesn't sound like someone expecting to stay put. When a player starts dropping words like uncertain and we'll see what happens, that's not just small talk, that's athlete language for I'm already halfway out the door.
Uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people. I love the fans, so we'll see what comes. Elliot?
Let's roll the tape back for a second, because Lexie Hull's exit didn't just appear out of nowhere. This storm has been brewing for a while. The Fever's season? Let's be honest. It was chaos from start to finish. Injuries piled up, rotations looked random, and the endless noise surrounding Caitlin Clark turned every game into a circus. Honestly, it's a miracle they didn't fall apart completely by mid-season. Through all that, Lexie was one of the few steady hands. Whether she started, came off the bench, or filled a role way outside her comfort zone, she showed up game after game, giving everything she had. Then came that interview. You could hear the exhaustion in her voice, the kind that says more than words ever could. She talked about how much she loved Indiana, loved the fans, loved the people. But notice what she didn't say? She never said she loved what was happening inside the franchise. That silence was deafening. And when she said, "I've built a life here," that wasn't a reassurance. It was a farewell, wrapped in grace. Lexie knows how to walk away without setting anything on fire. And the timing? That's no accident. The Fever are heading into one of their most uncertain off-seasons ever. Caitlin Clark rehabbing from injury, CBA talks breaking down, whispers of a 2026 lockout growing louder. And now, one of Caitlin's closest teammates is gone. If that doesn't scream warning sign, then what does?
It's better. I'm excited to sit down and not do anything for a little bit. Yeah.
For you, what was this season like in terms of the different iterations and the different versions of yourself that you had to play, different roles, shooting, defense, diving, all those different things?
Yeah, I mean, the year, I feel like my role changed throughout the course of the year. I think continuing to just show up as my best self, regardless of starting or not, or playing more on the ball defensively or off, whatever the night looked like, I feel like my ability to adapt grew throughout the year. And that's something that I think I can continue to work on my game, is being flexible and being able to really just do whatever the team needs. And this year, I think everyone on our team was challenged.
Lexie's interview didn't just spill facts, it revealed something much deeper. You could tell she's simply done with all the chaos surrounding this team. She talked about how she was constantly being asked to adjust, new positions, new roles, new rotations. Like she never had a solid ground to stand on. In plain English, zero consistency. Every night felt like walking into a different version of the Fever. And honestly, she wasn't wrong. Coach Stephanie White kept shuffling the lineup like it was an open experiment, trying random combinations just hoping one would finally click. One night, Lexie's guarding wings. The next, she's the designated catch-and-shoot option. Then suddenly, she's the defensive anchor on switches. That's not just exhausting, that's mentally draining. It's nearly impossible to find rhythm or confidence when your role changes with every tip-off. For a player built on hustle, structure, and reliability, that kind of instability can wear you down fast.
Or just every single thing we faced, I think, is something that we won't forget. Like the injuries, the playing through people that playing with groups that we are just haven't even practiced with for the first time in games. Like we were faced with so much uncertainty. So I think there isn't like one pinpoint game where I'm like, I'll remember that game. It's almost.
Let's be real. Lexie Hull's interview didn't just give us surface-level answers. It peeled back the curtain on how drained she's been. You could feel the fatigue in every word. She talked about constantly adapting, about needing to be flexible. But let's translate that. What she really meant was, I kept my head down and did whatever was asked of me, even when it didn't make sense. And then came the bombshell. She's not taking time off. She's joining Unrivaled, the brand new off-season league created by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. That says a lot, because Lexie's not just chasing another basketball opportunity. She's stepping into a movement, a place where players finally have more control, better exposure, and honestly, a fairer paycheck. This move screams one thing. Players don't trust the WNBA system anymore. Not when it's unstable, unpredictable, and heading toward a possible lockout. Lexie's just being smart, putting her energy where she has stability and direction instead of waiting around for chaos to strike again. And yet, through all this, she handled it better than most. She stayed professional, never threw shade, and especially never said a bad word about Caitlin Clark. In fact, when talking about Caitlin, she sounded genuinely emotional, saying how tough it was to watch her go through injuries and not be able to compete. You could feel the respect and friendship in her voice. But notice what she didn't say. I'm staying to help her bounce back. Instead, she said she was proud of Caitlin for how she kept showing up. That's not just a kind remark. That's a farewell. A classy, thoughtful goodbye without the drama. And that's what makes this so telling. If Lexie Hull, one of the most positive, team-first, relentlessly competitive players in the league, decides to walk away, something inside that organization is deeply wrong. She's not running from the challenge. She's walking away from the instability, from the constant noise, from a system that celebrates one player and forgets the rest. Let's be clear. It's not Caitlin's fault, but it is the reality. The media revolves around her. When Caitlin sneezes, it's a headline. When Lexie dives across the floor for a loose ball for the 10th time in a row, it barely earns a tweet. After a while, that wears on you. You start thinking, maybe I should go somewhere I'm actually valued. And fans, they went wild the moment the news dropped. Some were heartbroken, others shrugged it off as just business. But almost everyone agreed on one thing. This hurts Caitlin more than anyone. Her inner circle in Indiana was already small, and Lexie wasn't just a teammate. She was her anchor. The one who shared post-game interviews, practice sessions, quiet laughs after brutal losses. Now, heading into next season, Caitlin's left with even fewer people she can truly rely on in that locker room. And here's the part most people are missing, the timing. Lexie's decision lines up perfectly with the CBA drama hanging over the league. She even mentioned how uncertain the entire offseason feels. That wasn't filler talk. That was her saying, we all see what's coming. Players across the WNBA are holding their breath, unsure about pay, leadership, and the future. Lexie just decided to act before it was too late. She also made it clear she wants to grow offensively, a subtle but significant point. In Indiana, her defense was strong, but her offensive rhythm never truly found its groove. Hard to stay consistent when your role changes every other week. By moving to Unrivaled, she gets freedom. More touches, more flow, more confidence. And honestly, good for her. Sometimes the best career move isn't about loyalty, it's about self-respect. But for the Fever, this loss hits hard. Lexie wasn't just another player, she was the glue. You can replace shooters, but you can't easily replace heart, grit, and quiet leadership. She defended, hustled, and energized that locker room. She brought balance. Now, Caitlin Clark stands as the clear face of the franchise, surrounded by question marks. Who steps up defensively? Who keeps the energy alive when things start to crumble? Because let's be honest, there were plenty of those nights. You can draft talent, sure, but you can't draft chemistry. You can't manufacture trust. And right now, Indiana looks more like a revolving door than a united team. The saddest part? Lexie once said she was proud of how the team kept fighting for those who couldn't be out there, a subtle nod to Caitlin's injury time. And now, the very player who fought for her won't even be there next year. That's poetic and painful. For the first time in years, Fever fans actually had a core worth believing in. Caitlin, Lexie, Boston, and a few others. But that foundation is cracking before it even had a chance to shine. If management doesn't turn this around fast, this franchise could slide right back into being a one-player show. Because make no mistake, Lexie Hull leaving isn't a routine roster move. It's a loud flashing warning sign about where this team, and maybe even the league, is headed. So now the real question isn't just, what's next for Indiana? It's what happens to Caitlin Clark now? Because for Caitlin, losing Lexie isn't just losing a teammate. It's losing the one person who truly got her. The one who brought balance, calm, and quiet strength when everything else was chaos. And that might be the hardest loss of all.